Okay, so if semi-variable cost is given, and we are supposed to prepare the cost sheet for a particular quantity. So in that case, let us just assume, let us first understand what do you mean by semi-variable or semi-fixed cost. Semi-variable or semi-fixed means part of the cost is variable and part of the cost is fixed. Okay, so that is a combination of fixed and variable cost. So let me just give you the example. If suppose you are given that semi-variable cost for, let us say, 1000 unit is rupees, let us take 15,000. Semi-variable cost for, suppose, 1500 units is rupees 20,000. Okay, so this information is given to us. And suppose we are required to find semi-variable cost for, suppose, 1200 units that we need to find. Okay, now whenever semi-variable cost is given, there are two possible ways of drafting the sum. So some may give you two different ways of giving the information. So let us just assume that there are two cases. Case one, suppose you are given that semi-variable cost is rupees 15,000 for 1000 unit, and it will increase by rupees 2,000 for each increase in quantity by 100 units. Okay, so this is the information given to us. Now this sum and this sum both are different. Okay, तो इसको correlate मत करो कि यहाँ पे कुछ बताया था, so why it is not given for 1500. So this is altogether a new sum. Treat like that. So for 1000 unit you are given 15,000 rupees of semi-variable cost, and what it says, the cost will increase by 2,000 for each increase in quantity by 100 units. So if quantity increases by 100 unit, automatically your cost will increase by 2,000. Suppose we need to find semi-variable cost for 1200 units. We are supposed to find semi-variable for 1200 units. So here they are straight away given us the information about the behavior of semi-variable cost, how it is going to change depending on the change in quantity. First thing, bear in mind, you cannot simply do the cross multiplication work here. So तुम लोग ऐसे नहीं कर सकते कि for 1000 unit it is 15,000. So how much would be for 1200 units? Simple cross multiply and get the answer. That is not possible. That is only allowed in case of variable cost. Semi-variable cost comprises of fixed and variable part. So here for semi-variable, we cannot simply do the cross multiplication work. Okay, so here using the information, we need to find cost for 1200 units. So let us start. Semi-variable for 1000 units is 15,000. Okay, now we need to find cost for 1200 unit. So each 100 will increase twice to get 1200 unit. From 1000, if we start working, 100 and 100 two times, if we add, we'll get 1200. So for 100 units, for each 100 unit increase, cost would increase by 2000. So here it would increase by 2000 rupees. Now again for next 100, again 2000 cost will increase. So you will get total semi-variable for 1200 units. It would be 19,000. So here in this case, they were given directly the behavior of cost, how the cost will change. Okay, how the cost will behave if there is increase or decrease in quantity. Everyone understood this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Others, have you understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now, let us take case 2. Suppose I just copy this information here for case 2. Suppose they were given that semi-variable cost for 1000 unit is 15,000. For 1500 unit, it would be 20,000. And we need to find semi-variable cost for 1200 unit. Now, in this kind of situation, they will not give you the behavior of cost like one which was given here. For 100 unit, it will increase by 2000. So that information is not given here. So instead of that information, what they have given us, they have given us the cost for 1000 and 1500 units. For two different levels of quantity, they have given the cost. So by comparing these two costs and two quantities, we can split the cost into variable and fixed component. Okay, so how to do that? For that, we'll apply two different steps. Step number 1 is to find variable cost per unit. The formula is difference in cost divided by difference in quantity. Okay, so that is a formula that will be useful to find variable cost per unit. So here, if I apply the formula, difference in cost, 15 and 20,000 is the amount of overhead given. So from higher to lower, just reduce. So 20,000 minus 15,000. So 5,000 is difference in cost. Your cost will change by 5,000. Now, why this cost would change by 5,000? Because there is change in quantity. So your quantity was 1,500 and 1,000. So 1,500 minus 1,000. So here it is 5,000 divided by 500. So variable cost per unit would be rupees 10, is it? Everyone getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in step number 2, we are going to find fixed cost. Let us put the quantity details here first. For 1000 unit and 1500 unit, information is given. See, total semi-variable cost. Total semi-variable cost for 1000 unit, it is 15,000. And for 1500 unit, it is 20,000. From total, it's a combination of fixed and variable cost. From total, if I reduce variable cost, because I know now the variable cost per unit is rupees 10. So from total, if I reduce variable, I should get balance is fixed cost. Okay, so here it is 10 rupees per unit. Number of units are 1000 in first case and 1500 in second case. So 1000 into 10 and 1500 into 10. That would be the variable cost. So I will get balance figure as fixed cost. If total cost is 15, out of 15, if 10 is variable, so remaining 5,000 would be fixed. Similarly, if total cost is 20, out of that 15 is variable, so fixed cost would be 5,000. And this fixed cost should be same for both the levels of quantity. That should remain fixed. That is the nature of fixed cost because it does not depend on quantity. So even if you manufacture 1000 or 1500 units, your total cost would remain constant at 5000. Okay, so this is how two different ways of information will be given in the sum. In the first case, this is not the only way. In some of the way, they will give you the change in semi-variable cost as the quantity changes. And in second case, they will give you details about two different levels of quantity and two different levels of cost. So by comparing cost and quantity, we'll get first per unit, then we can find fixed cost using per rate variable cost. Okay. Have you got this, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, now let us just revise the thing about variable cost, fixed cost, and semi-variable cost. Now, what is the rule that we need to apply in solving the sum? First, in case of variable cost, its per unit cost would be constant, but total amount would change. Okay, in case of variable cost, per unit cost is always constant, but total amount changes depending on the change in quantity. In case of fixed cost, its total amount would be constant, but per unit amount would change. Again, based on quantity, per unit cost would change. Third, for semi-variable or semi-fixed, its total amount as well as per unit amount is not constant. Both will change. So that is the nature of semi-variable. Okay, see here. Semi-variable cost is 15,000 and 20,000 for 1,000 and 1,500 unit. So here it is, total amount is not same. Total amount is changing from 15 to 20. If I find per unit cost, 15,000 is for 1,000. So per unit cost would be 15. And here 20,000 is for 1,500 unit. So if I divide it to get per unit, I will get 30. Okay. So here neither total amount nor per unit amount is constant. Both are changing. So that is the nature of semi-variable. So if any cost is given and you are not clear whether it is variable, fixed or semi-variable. So fixed you can easily identify. If amount is same in all the cases, that is fixed. If amount is changing, so in that case, try to find per unit cost. If per unit is same, that would be variable cost. If per unit is also not same, in that case, that cost would be semi-variable cost. So you need to break the semi-variable into fixed and variable, applying any of the method which is applicable in the sum. Either they will give you the information to split the cost, or they will simply give us the detail about two different levels. By comparing two levels, we can find fixed and variable cost. Got it, everyone? Everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, question number 7. The following information is given: production and sales 4,000 units. Information is given about production and sales of 4,000 units. So here production quantity and sales quantity both are same. So whatever is produced is sold out. Particulars of expenses for 4,000 unit. For 4,000 unit, material cost is rupees 12 per unit. Direct wages is 10 per unit. Selling price is 35 per unit. Overheads are as follows: fixed overhead are 6,000, variable overhead are 3,600, and semi-variable overhead are 2,400, of which 60% is fixed. Okay, so they are straight away given as the breakup of cost in semi-variable. Semi-variable overhead is 2,400. So this 2,400 comprises 60% to be fixed and remaining 40% to be variable. Okay, so that information is already given to us. So there is no need to work out anything, applying this formula. Okay, everything is given to us. Just using this information, we need to find the cost. That's it. Prepare cost sheet from the above information and determine the profit per unit. Also prepare the tender sheet for sales of 5,000 units, assuming that there is no change in cost. So here the details is given regarding 4,000 units. And we need to prepare one more cost sheet for 5,000 units. So if they ask us to prepare the cost sheet for another quantity, that is known as estimated cost sheet or tender cost sheet. Tender cost sheet means we need to give the quotation for selling 5,000 units by us. So for that, we need to prepare the cost sheet, and that cost sheet is known as estimated cost sheet. So we need to prepare two different cost sheets. One is for 4,000 and one is for 5,000 units. Okay, let us start. Okay, so let us first prepare the cost sheet for 4,000 units. Then we'll proceed with cost sheet for 5,000 units. See here, production and sales 4,000 unit, particulars of expenses for 4,000 unit. Material cost is 12 per unit. Material means direct material. It is 12 per unit. So if material cost is 12 per unit, if there are 4,000 units which are manufactured, the total cost would be 4,000 multiplied by 12. Okay, 4,000 unit multiplied by 12 rupees per unit. So we'll get total amount. I will go slow. You can write along with me. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you show the question simultaneously?
Simultaneous, it would be difficult. So I will switch over the screen as and when required. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Let me just try to copy it if it is done properly. Okay. So material cost is 12 per unit. Now the next cost is direct wages. Direct wages are 10 per unit. Okay. So again, for 4,000 unit, 10 into 4,000 would be the total cost, 40,000. Direct expenses are not given. Okay, so there is no need to write direct expenses. Directly we can take the total. That total would be prime cost, direct material plus direct wages. We'll get prime cost. If I divide it by 4,000, I will get per unit 22, or else you can take the total 12 plus 10 equal to 22. In both ways, you will get the same answer. So this is prime cost. Now, selling price is given, overhead is given. Now they are not given the breakup of overhead in factory, in office, in selling and distribution. They are simply given as the overhead, one single amount of overhead. Okay, and the overhead comprises of fixed, variable, and semi-variable. So that is the information given to us. Okay, so what presentation we are going to use here, instead of writing one by one overheads, first factory, then office, then selling and distribution, We'll directly write here overhead because breakup is not available. Okay, so simply add overheads. That will take care of every type of overhead, whether it is factory, office, or selling and distribution. Okay, now let us take the expenses. First one is fixed. Fixed overhead is 6,000. Okay, fixed overhead 6,000. Let us divide this 6,000 by quantity 4,000. You will get per unit cost. That is 1.5. Variable overhead is 3,600. 3,600. Again, divided by quantity 4,000. You will get per unit 0.9. Now, next one is semi-variable overhead. Now, semi-variable will comprise of fixed and variable component. Okay, fixed and variable. So here, let us split that semi-variable into fixed and variable. Now see, we are given that out of 2,400 total amount, 60% is fixed. 60% is fixed. So of 2,400, 60% would be fixed. So that is 1,440, that is fixed. Remaining 40% of 2,400 that automatically becomes variable. So 2,400 into 40% is your variable cost. And if I take the total, that would be 2,400, which is given to us. Okay, 2,400. Let us divide this 2,400 by 4,000 units. We'll get per unit 0.6. So we have taken all three overheads. Okay. Now prime cost, if we add with overhead, now this includes factory, office, selling, all three overhead. So directly we get total cost, that is cost of sales directly, because we do not know the breakup. So we cannot find works cost, cost of production separately. Directly we'll get the total cost, and that cost would be cost of sales. So that is the total of these three overhead plus prime cost. All three overheads plus prime cost. 1 lakh. Let us divide it by 4,000. We'll get per unit. That is 25 rupees. Now, they are given the selling price 35 per unit. So we can find sales. So automatically profit would be balance figure. $4,000 units are being sold out and the selling price given is 35. So your total sales would be 4,000 into 35. Okay, 1,40,000. Per unit selling price is 35. So automatically you will get balance figure as profit. That would be 1,40,000 minus 1 lakh. 40,000 is your profit. And if I divide it by 4,000, I will get per unit profit 10. So that you can cross check 25 plus 10 equal to 35. So this is the end of our first part of solution. We have prepared the cost sheet for 4,000 units. Everyone understood till now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, we need to prepare cost sheet for 5,000 units. Cost sheet for 5,000 units we need to prepare. That is required in the sum. We need to prepare a tender sheet for 5,000 units. And this kind of cost sheet is technically known as estimated cost sheet. We are estimating the cost for 5,000 units. Now, applying the rule, in case of variable cost, its per unit variable cost would be constant, but total amount would change. In case of fixed cost, total amount would be constant, but per rate amount would change. And in case of semi-variable, both will not be constant. Per unit as well as total amount, both will change. Okay, so let us just continue the solution. Always remember these three direct costs, that is direct material, direct labor, and direct expense, are always in all the chapters of costing, it would be considered as variable cost only. Okay, so this total till prime cost, that is direct material, direct labor, direct expense, these three expenses would always be variable cost only. It won't be fixed cost in any sum. This overhead will comprise of fixed and variable components, so that would be generally semi-variable. So these first two elements, that is direct material and direct labor, both are variable. So if it is variable, would this 48,000 be constant or 12 rupees per unit would be constant? What do you say? For 5,000 unit, would this 48,000 be same or 12 would be same?
12 will be same.
12. Because in case of variable cost, its per unit cost would be same. So here if it is 12 rupees per unit, here also for 5,000 unit, it would be same at rupees 12. But total amount will change because we are changing the quantity. So if cost is 12 rupees, let us multiply by 5,000 unit, the total cost would be 60,000. Previously it was 48,000 for 4,000. Now it is 60,000 for 5,000. So total amount will change, but per rate amount will remain the same. Okay. Similar rules will be applied for direct labor, direct wages. Again, direct wages is considered to be the variable cost. So 10 rupees would remain constant. So if I multiply this 10 by new quantity 5,000, I will get total 50,000. Let us take the total, that would be prime cost. If I divide it by 5,000, I will get same 22 rupees per unit. Till prime cost, everything is variable. Now let us add overheads. The first overhead is fixed overhead. Think and tell me whether 6,000 or 1.5, which one would be constant?
6,000.
Yes, 6,000. Its total amount would be constant. Okay, so 6,000 would be constant. If I divide it by new quantity, 5,000 unit, I will get new per unit cost, that is 1.2. Previously it was 1.5, now it is 1.2. So its per rate will change, but total amount would be same. So here it is 6,000, that will continue even for 5,000 units. Next one is variable overhead. Variable overhead, 3,600 or 0.9. Which one would be constant?
3,600.
it is variable overhead,
0.9.
3,600 or 0.9. Which one would be which one would be constant?
Sir, 3600.
36 or 0.9.
Per unit.
0.9.
In case of variable cost, its per unit cost would be constant. So this 3,600 would change because we are producing more number of units. This will change, but the per unit cost would be 0.9 only. Okay, applying the same rule which we have applied for material and wages. We have taken this 12 and 10 constant. By multiplying the quantity, we got the total amount. The same rule would be applied for variable overhead. Here, variable itself, per rate will remain the same, 0.9. If I multiply by the quantity, I will get the total amount. So 0.9 would be constant. So 0.9 multiplied by new quantity 5,000, I will get total amount 4,500. Here, per unit is same, but total amount is changing. That is the nature of variable overhead. Got this, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Others, have you got this?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the last one is semi-variable overhead. Now, this comprises of fixed and variable element. Fixed and variable. Okay, now just think for this fixed overhead first. Will this 1440 be constant, or if we find per unit, that would be constant? This is fixed.
40.
1440. Total amount would remain constant. In case of fixed cost, total amount remains constant, but per rate changes. So this 1440 would remain fixed. That would remain constant. 1440. Okay. Now, regarding this variable part, 960 is your variable overhead. Just think and tell me how much should be the variable cost for these 5,000 units.
One five six zero.
1560. How come?
Yes, sir.
The per unit cost is 0.6, and we will subtract 1440 from that because it is fixed cost.
Okay. Okay. Now, in this case, you need to apply the same rule. In case of variable, whether it is a part of semi-variable or directly some other cost is given, for all types of variable cost, its per rate will remain the same. So this 0.6 is based on 2,400. So that we cannot use. We need to find per unit variable cost from 960 rupees. Okay.
Yes, sir. It's 0.24.
0.24. Okay. Variable cost in semi-variable equal to 960 is for 4,000 unit. So 960 divided by 4,000, 0.4. 0.24. Is it?
Yes, sir.
So this 0.24 will remain constant. This 960 would change, but this 0.24 would remain constant. So now if you are manufacturing 5,000 units, our cost should be 5,000 unit multiplied by 0.24. So that should be 1,200. Okay. You cannot use this 0.6. Why? Because it is based on total semi-variable overhead. Okay. So this you need to calculate first. Okay. And based on that, you can find the cost for 5,000 unit. Now let us transfer the total amount in outer column. This is 1440 plus 1,200, 2640. Let us take the total cost or cost of sales. Let us add all three overhead plus prime cost. That would be 1,23,140. Let us divide it by new quantity 5,000. We'll get per unit cost. Okay. Now we'll add profit. So we should get sales. Now sales would be 5,000 unit into 35. Selling price is already given to us. 35 is your selling price. Multiplied by 5,000 unit, you will get total sales. Now balance figure would be profit 175 minus 123, 140. $51,860 divided by 5,000, you will get per unit cost 10.37. I hope everyone understood this.
Yes, sir.
So this part was very important. Semi-variable, fixed and variable component you need to find for 5,000 unit. So fixed cost would remain constant at total amount, but in case of variable, per unit cost would be constant. So first you need to find per unit cost, that is 0.24, and the same per unit 0.24 you will use here. Okay, multiplied by 5,000 you will get total amount. Take the total in outer column, divided by 5,000 you will get final per unit cost. Any doubts, any questions?
Sir, for sales, the per unit cost does not change.
In case of?
Sir, sales, selling price.
No, selling price would remain same because they were straight away given the selling price 35 per unit. So that
Yes,
is not
sir,
going
yes.
to change. Okay.
Yes.
Sir, in semi-variable, variable is
Yeah.
treated as fixed. Like we are not changing the quantity is also changing. Sir, I am confused in semi-variable overheads. Like in previous, yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, in previous, we did semi-variable quantities changed, right?
See, this is for 4,000 unit. So for 4,000 unit, 1,440 plus 960, that is 2,400 is your semi-variable cost. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is the breakup of 2,400 into fixed and variable. So if
Yes,
we
sir.
know the breakup into fixed and variable, apply the rule accordingly. In case of fixed cost, its total cost will remain the same. And in case of variable cost, its per unit cost will remain the same. So since per unit variable cost was not given, we calculated that per unit variable cost and the same was applied for 5,000 units. So we got the total amount of variable.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Now take the total of fixed and variable. You will get the total that is semi-variable. So if you compare here 2,400 and 2,640, total amount is not same. If you compare here per unit 0.6 and 0.53, so even here per unit cost is not same. So that is the nature of total semi-variable cost. Okay, but if we take the breakup of semi-variable, we need to apply separately for fixed and variable whatever rule is applicable. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Others, have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is it. Okay, now let us take few more example where semi-variable cost is given and we need to prepare a cost sheet for a particular quantity. Let us take question number 4. A factory produces uniform type of article and has capacity of 3,000 units per week. What do you mean by capacity of the company? What is the indication of this 3,000 unit? Any idea about capacity? Okay. Now, generally capacity, let me give you one example. Suppose you are sitting in a classroom. Okay. Now the classroom has capacity to occupy 60 chairs. Okay, so 60 students can be accommodated in that classroom. So that is its capacity. So if number of student increases beyond 60, that would not be accommodated because space is not available and there is no space available to add few more chairs so that other student can also sit. Okay, so if there is a space constraint and only 60 chairs can be accommodated, then that means the classroom capacity would be considered to be 60. So similarly for each company, based on its number of machines, based on number of workers working the company, based on the material available in the company, there would be 100% capacity that would be calculated for the factory. So that 100% capacity is the maximum production that can be manufactured by the company. So in this sum, they are given that the capacity is 3,000 units per week. So even if you want to manufacture more than 3,000 units, that won't be possible because the capacity is restricted up to 3,000. So if product demand is not there, in that case, you can manufacture less than 3,000. So it is not compulsory that every time you need to manufacture only 3,000 units. You can manufacture less than 3,000, but you cannot manufacture more than 3,000 because capacity is not there. Okay, so later on, when you work in company, in corporate, you will treat this as one of the constraint to manufacture more number of units. Okay, so to overcome, you need to expand your factory, you need to purchase more machines, you need to employ more labor. Okay, then only you can increase the capacity beyond 100% capacity. So here the capacity of companies to manufacture only 3,000 units. You cannot manufacture more than 3,000. Okay, per week. The following information shows the different elements of cost for 3 consecutive weeks when the output changed from week to week. So they were given details about 3 different weeks. In week number 1, factory produced 800 units. Factory produced 800 units. Direct material was 3,200 for 800 units. Labor was 1,200 and factory overhead, which is partly variable and partly fixed, was 5,600 rupees. Okay, so they were given the cost for 800 unit, material, labor, and factory overhead, which is semi-variable, partly variable, partly fixed. Similarly, they were given the cost for 1,000 unit and 1,600 units. Okay, now just think and tell me in this sum whether this case 1 is applicable or case 2 is applicable. This is your semi-variable cost, factory overhead is semi-variable, and this is your quantity. So is this case 1 or case 2? Is it case 1 or case 2? Just
Sir, can you show the question again?
yeah.
Sir,
Yeah. Yeah, tell me. Is it case 1 or case 2?
sir, case 2.
Yes, it is case 2. Why it is case 2? Because they were given cost for 2 different, means here they were given cost for 3 different levels of quantity and 3 different quantities are given. So if multiple quantities or multiple costs are given, we can use the technique in case 2. Okay, so here case 2 is applicable. Factory has received order for 2,400 units. So in the first week we manufactured 800 units. In the second week we manufactured 1,000 units. In third week 1,600 units. Now they all got the order for 2,400 units. So we need to prepare cost sheet for 2,400. Okay, it wants to make profit of 25% on selling price. Find out what price per unit it should quote. Okay. First, we prepare the working note to break the semi-variable cost into fixed and variable element. See, they are given the details about 800, 1000 and 1600 units. What is the amount of overhead that is in the nature of semi-variable? Now, considering this information, we need to split this cost into variable and fixed. And for that, we need to apply two different steps. First, we'll find variable cost per unit. That would be difference in cost divided by difference in quantity. Now, for this comparison, we require only two different cost and two different quantities. Here, you are given three different cost and three different quantity. So let us first consider 800 and 1000. If we compare 800 and 1000, what is the per unit variable cost? Let us find that first. Variable cost per unit for 800 and 1000. For 800, cost is 5600, and for 1000, it is 6400. So let us take the difference in cost from higher to lower. You can reduce 6400 minus 5600. This is your difference in cost divided by difference in quantity. Quantity is 1000 and 800. So 1000 minus 800. Can you please help me? 6400 minus 5600. It is 800. 800 by 200. Is it 4?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Rupees 4 per unit. Okay. Similarly, using the same technique, you can compare 1000 unit and 1600 units. Variable cost per unit between 1000 and 1600. Difference in cost 8800 minus 6400. Divided by difference in quantity. It is 1600 and 1000. Uh, 8800 minus 6400. Is it 2400?
2400.
Divided by 600.
600.
4 again.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Similarly, you can also compare for 800 and 1600. Even in that case, you should get the same answer. For 800, it is 5600. And for 1600, it is 8800. So 8800 minus 5600 divided by 1600 minus 800. You should get again the same rupees 4 per unit. Just check it.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So there is no need to compare all three. You can compare only any one in your exam. Okay. But for just for knowledge and just for clarity, I've taken all three comparisons. Okay. In exam, you need to show only one. Either 800 or 1000 or 1000 or 1600 or 800 or 1600. Any one you can compare. In all three cases, you will get the same answer. Now, let us proceed with step number 2, fixed cost. I'm just taking all three. You need to take only any one. For 800, for 1000 and for 1600, details are given. Total factory overhead. For 800, it is 5600, 6400, and 8,800. From this total, if I reduce variable, I should get fixed balance figure. So variable cost is 4 rupees per unit. So for 800 unit, it should be 800 into 4. For 1000 unit, it should be 1000 into 4. And for 1600 unit, it should be 1600 into 4. Okay, so balance figure would be fixed cost 5,600 minus 3,200. Similarly, for remaining two, it should be same for all three levels, 2,400 only. If it is not same, you made some mistake. You need to check your calculation for the previous working. Always this should be same. Fixed cost should be same. Got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us prepare the cost sheet. Now we know how much cost is there in fixed and variable component in case of factory. Now based on that, we can prepare the cost sheet. Okay, for 2,400 unit, we need to prepare the cost sheet. Okay, now first element would be direct material. Now just tell me whether direct material, in case of direct material, this total amount would be same or per rate would be same. Direct material. Yes, per rate would be same. Okay, because direct material and direct labor are always variable. So in case of variable cost, its per rate cost would be same. So just try to find per rate cost. 3,200 divided by 800. 3,200 divided by 800. Just a minute, I'll just close the window. Okay, so 3,200 divided by 800. Is it 4?
4.
Now compare for the remaining two. 4,000 divided by 1,000. Again 4. 6,400 divided by 1,600. Is it 4?
Yes, sir.
So for all three levels, per rate is constant. That is the nature of variable cost. So even for 2,400 unit, its per rate cost would be constant of rupees 4. The total amount will change by multiplying the quantity. Okay. So here it is 4. So if I multiply 4 by 2,400 units, I will get total cost. Okay, so this is how this 4 is computed. In all cases, if you compare, the per rate cost is same, 4 rupees only. Okay, there is no need to show this in exam. It is just for your revision purpose. You should come to know how this 4 is computed. So for that, I have written this. Okay. Now, next element is direct labor. Direct labor and direct wages both are one and the same thing. So again, direct labor is a variable cost. So let us just find the variable cost per unit. 1,200 divided by 800. Is it 1.5?
Yes, sir.
1,200 by 800, 1.5. Again, for second one, 1,500 divided by 1,000, 1.5. And 2,400 divided by 1,600. Is it 1.5?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for all three, the cost is 1.5 per unit. Okay, so same per rate cost would apply even for this cost sheet of 2,400 units. Simply multiply it by 2,400. You will get the amount 3,600. Total of these two will be prime cost. Total is 13,200. If I divide it by 2,400, I will get per unit 5.5. Now, after direct material, direct labor, one more cost is given, that is factory overhead. That is semi-variable. So we need to split this factory overhead into fixed and variable component. See, in the previous working, we already calculated that per rate variable cost is 4 rupees and the fixed cost total amount is 2,400. Okay, 2,400. So should I put this 2,400 here or should I need to find per rate cost here? In
No,
case of
sir,
fixed
we will
cost.
put the total amount.
Yes,
Total
directly we
amount.
can put total amount 2,400 because in fixed cost, your total amount would be same. Okay, so this 2,400 will continue even for 2,400 units. Now, regarding this variable cost, now the quantity is 2,400 and its per unit cost is rupees 4. So as the quantity will change, the total amount of variable overhead would also change. So 4 rupees would remain constant for variable cost multiplied by new quantity 2,400. We get the cost 9,600. If you got this, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Others, have you got this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us divide it by 2,400. We'll get per unit. Now, if we add prime cost with factory overhead, we'll get works cost. Divided by 2,400, we'll get per rate cost. Now, in this sum, they are not given office overhead or selling and distribution overhead. So that is not given. So if it is not given, there is no need to write for office and selling and distribution overhead. So we can say this factory cost itself is total cost, that is cost of sales. Cost of sales, because factory and office and selling and distribution both are not given. Okay, so we can directly add profit to get sales. Now see, generally in all the sums that we have done previously, sales was given. Now in this sum, this is the first sum where instead of sales, they are given the profit percentage. The profit is 25% on selling price. Profit is 25% on selling price. Now always read the profit percentage carefully. The profit percentage may be given in two different forms. One is, let us assume that profit is 25% on sales, one which is given in this sum. Or else they may also give you profit is 25% on cost. Now tell me whether both this percentage of 25% on sales or 25% cost, is it same or different?
So different.
Both are different. Okay, so let me just try to explain you why it is different. Let us assume that cost is 400 rupees. I'm just assuming a random number. So it is not linked with the previous solution. So don't compare it with the solution. I'm just taking a random number. So suppose cost is 100, cost is 400, profit is 100, and sales, it would be cost plus profit. So it should be 500. So if I try to find the profit percentage, Suppose if I try to find profit percentage on cost, it would be profit divided by cost into 100. So profit is 100 rupees, cost is 400 rupees, into 100 for percentage. Is it 25? Is it 25? Just check.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, in the same case, if I find profit percentage on sales, so my formula will be profit divided by sales into 100. Same profit is there, 100 rupees. But if I now compare with sales, 500 rupees, I will get different percentage. Is it 20?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So profit amount is same, but if you compare with cost, you will get different percentage on cost. If you compare it with sales, you will get different percentage on sales. So both things are not same. So if I say 25% on sales is not same as 25% on cost, because here percentage would be applied on sales, here percentage would be applied on cost. Okay. Now, in this sum, just tell me, do we have sales amount?
No, sir.
No, it is not there. Now profit which is given in the sum is 25% on selling price. That means 25% on sales. Now sales is not known, so we cannot find profit, because unless we find sales, we cannot find profit here. Profit is 25% on sales. So how to proceed in this case? Both are not known. Profit is 25% on sales, and since sales is not available, we cannot find profit. So what should we do here? We cannot apply this 25% on 25,200. That is not possible, because here it is 25% on sales. So we cannot apply it on cost. Both are different. Any idea? Okay. Now, whenever this situation occurs to you, you need to do the reverse work. How to do the reverse work? Here, since profit is 25% on sales and sales is not available, let us assume that sales is rupees 100. Sales is rupees 100. Let us just assume that sales to be 100 rupees. So if sales is 100 rupees, profit is 25% on sales. So profit should be 25 rupees. Yes, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So what should be the cost? Should it be 125 or 75?
75.
100 plus 25 or
75.
100 minus 25? 75?
75.
Yes, it should be 75. Sales minus profit is your cost. So it should be 75. Now just think and tell me, out of these three, any amount is available with us? Cost, profit or sales?
Yes, sir. Cost amount is given
Amount is
25200.
available with us, that is 25,200. Okay, so this 25,200 represents 75. So if 25,200 is 75, how much would be 25 and 100? Simply cross multiply here. Getting it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can simply cross multiply here. And you will get this profit amount. Similarly, you can cross multiply here for 102. So 25 200 is 75. So how much would be 100? Here also you can cross multiply. So 25 200 into 100 divided by 75 would be the amount of profit. And here it would be 25 200 into 100 divided by 75. I made the mistake here. Here it should be 25 200 into 25 by 75. 25 200 into 25 divided by 75 will be your amount of profit, and 25 200 into 100 divided by 75 would be the amount of sales. Now simply cross check it. 25 200 plus 8400, is it 33,600? So yes, it is 33,600. So it is exactly matching. And if you cross check, 8400 is 25% of 33,600. Just check it. 33,600 into 25%. Is it 8400?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it fits well. Okay. Now simply find per unit cost. 8400 divided by 2400 units, and 33,600 divided by 2400 units. So we get per unit. So the question which was asked in the sum is to find a price per unit, which should be quoted for 2400 units. So price per unit should be rupees 40. Got it, everyone?
Sir, can you explain the cross multiplication again?
Here profit is 25% on sales. So assume sales to be 100. Of 100, 25% would be profit. So it would be 25 rupees. So sales minus profit, you will get cost. That would be 75. Now out of this 75, 25 and 100, we know the amount of corresponding 75, that is 25 200. So this 25 200 represents 75. So simply cross multiply. If 25 200 is 75, how much would be 25 and how much would be 100? Okay, so 25 200 into 25 divided by 75 would be your profit, and 25 200 into 100 divided by 75 would be your sales. Got it?
I got it. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So this is how you can find the profit and sales. Okay. Now, just 2 minutes. Sir. I just gave you different cases. We need to find the missing amount. Okay. Suppose I take 4 different cases. Suppose in case 1, cost is, let us say, 5,000. Sales we need to find. In case number 3, suppose sales is 8,000. We need to find cost. Okay. So here sales is missing. Here cost is missing. Suppose profit is 25% on cost, 25% on sales. Okay, so there are 4 cases. In first 2 cases, cost is given. In next 2 cases, sales is given. Here the profit is 25% on cost. Here it is on 25% on sales. Here again, cost 25%, sales 25%. Now, always remember, if profit is 25% on cost, you cannot apply this 25% on sales amount. You need to apply it on cost amount only. So do we have the cost amount here in first case?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So cost amount is available. So on 5,000, 25% would be the amount of profit. So 5,000 into 25% is your profit. So it would be 1250. Okay, so if we know the amount of cost and profit is on cost, directly we can apply percentage on 5,000, 25%. So 1250 is your cost. So cost plus profit is nothing but your sales. So we will get sales is 6250. 5,000 plus 1250. Got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, here in fourth case, see, sales is given and profit is 25% on sales. Profit is 25% on sales. So can we directly apply 25% of 8,000? Can we apply this 25% directly on 8,000?
Yes, sir.
Yes, here it is 25% of sales and this 8,000 is nothing but your sales amount. So directly we can apply 25% on sales, that is 8,000. So 8,000 into 25%, you will get profit. That is 2,000. Sales minus profit is your cost. So this is your balance figure. Got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in this case, second case, you're given cost of 5,000. Profit is 25% on sales. So can we apply this 25% on 5,000?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So in case number 2, we need to do the reverse work as we have done in the previous example, previous sum. Cost plus profit equal to sales. So let us just assume, since here 25% is on sales, assume sales to be 100. Whatever is the base of that percentage, assume that to be 100. Base means here 25% profit is on sales. So assume sales to be 100. So if it is 100, profit would be 25% of sales. So it would be 25 rupees. So your cost should be 75. Okay, cost should be 75. Now out of these 3, cost, profit and sales, one amount is given to us, that is cost. So this 5,000 will represent 75. So how much would be this 25 and 100?
1666.
Yes.
25.
25 divided by 75. 1,666.67. So we can take 1,667. Okay. Similarly, here if we cross multiply 5,000 into 100 divided by 75. So it should be 6,666.66. That means we can round off to 6,667. Got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Last case number 3. Here sales is given and profit is on cost. Cost plus profit equal to sales. Now, which one should I assume 100? Cost of sales?
Cost.
Cost, because here profit is on cost. So let us assume cost to be 100. So profit would be 25% of 100. So it would be 25 rupees. So what should be sales? 75 or 120?
125.
Cost plus profit equal to sales. So it should be 125. Now out of these three, 8,000 is given. So 8,000 would represent 125 or 125?
120. Oh,
120.
100.
No, it would
Sales.
represent 125. It is sales.
Yeah.
So
Sales.
this
Yeah,
would represent
125.
125. So how much is 100 and how much is 25? That we need to find. So if I apply here 8,000 into 25 divided by 125, and here it will be 8,000 into 100 divided by 125. Is it 6,400?
Yes, sir. 6,400. 1,600.
1,600. So this is your profit and this is your cost. So based on the profit percentage, you need to think whether should we apply direct percentage or we need to do the reverse form. So that totally depends on the situation, whether cost and sales is given and whether profit is on cost or on sales. Based on that, you need to think. Got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let us continue in the next lecture only. So we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Good day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day too.
Thank you.